Hi! When we hear about lions, we usually think typical things. Most people seem to think that these animals are cruel, aggressive, and very proud of themselves. The lion we'll talk about today is a different kind of lion. So today I will tell you about a lion who goes by the name Bone Digger, who lives in Oklahoma. Also, we'll talk about some other pretty cool animals, so don't go anywhere. This guy had a tough upbringing. As soon as he was born, the doctors diagnosed him with osteoporosis. It's a kind of bone disease that almost made Bone Digger disabled. The lion was always sad because he couldn't move properly. But then the poor guy received some help he didn't expect it. He made friends with a dachshund by the name Milo and a bunch of her friends. Can you believe this? 3 little dachshunds and a lion. They were 2 years older, but it was hard to believe that because they looked so much smaller than the lion, who at the time weighed 500 pounds. And so they've been friends for the past 5 years. And all this time, John Ranke was witnessing this interesting friendship. He said that from the very beginning, the dogs were acting like the lion was kind of a big pup. And John says that if there's love, then size doesn't really matter, as long as they all look after one another. So these guys are not just friends, sometimes they even help Bone Digger to clean his big teeth. And that's really something. In return, the lion kindly grooms the dogs. That's kind of his way of saying thanks to the doggies who take good care of him. So they're like real family now. I think they are very much used to one another. When the lion was little, the dog was protecting it. And when it grew up, he was very grateful for that. Apart from Milo, there are 2 other dogs, Angel and Bullet. One day, the zoo management thought it was not appropriate that the dogs are in the same cage with the lion, so it was decided to move the dogs elsewhere. The lion was so upset that he almost stopped eating, and he was just lying there in his cage, thinking about his little friends. When the zookeepers noticed that, they immediately brought the dogs back, and of course that made Bone Digger really happy. That brought him his spirits right back. Looks like over the course of 5 years, they've become a real family there. They've become inseparable. There are 4 dogs in the park right now, and together they all have fun. Although for Bone Digger, his best friend is Milo. And it will always be this way. The visitors are absolutely thrilled to see the way the lion and the dogs communicate with one another. And it really does look cute. Turns out, different kinds of animals make friends all the time. Here's another interesting case of friendship. It's a friendship between a cat and a gorilla. Coco is a very thoroughly studied primate. Those who studied it noticed its incredible ability to understand human speech. Coco communicates with people using sign language. She even came up with her own unique sign interpretation. In 1984, Coco asked people to let her pet a cat. So she picked up a little gray kitten and called it All Ball. Coco takes good care of the kitty, as if it was her own child. She was really stressing out when they were separated for a while. When the cat was hit by a car, Coco was very sad and described her depressed state using sign language. When Tembe was just a little cute elephant, his mom died. The poor guy was found and rescued by rangers who moved him to the park in South Africa. He was put into a special place where he was safe and protected from other animals. And because elephants are known to be very sociable, it was decided to let a sheep hang out with Tembe, so that the little guy didn't feel lonely. First, the elephant was just spooking the sheep for a while, but then they became very good friends, and they even used to sleep together. And when it was time to let Tembe out into the big world, Albert was taken away from him. And before Tembe was supposed to be released, he began having problems with his gut, and so Albert was left in the reserve. While most cases of friendship we talk about today happen as a result of some kind of bad luck situation, this one happened after the lion and a bear were released from a house of a drug lord after a police raid. So the two of them were put in a shelter, and they stayed there together even though both animals are known for being very aggressive sometimes. They are all grown up now, but they still live and play together every night. The drug lord kept them at his house as a sort of symbol of status. According to statistics, there are 5,000 tigers in US that people keep in their houses as pets, which is more tigers than there are in the wild. The tsunami wave that took little Hippo Owen into the sea separated him from his parents. After he was found by rangers, he was taken to animal shelter in Mombasa in Kenya. It was decided to put the hippo together with a 100-year-old turtle by the name Amazi. What's weird is that Owen began to think that the male turtle was actually his mom. They were swimming together, they slept close to one another. Owen used to lick the turtle's face in protecting it. As a rule, hippos stick to their moms for about 4 years after they're born. And so Owen was left with MZ till 2007 and then was taken to his fellow elephants. And here's a case of friendship between a dog and a white bear. As told by the man who saw the beginning of the new friendship, when the dog came up to the bear too close, he was afraid that those were the last moments of his dog's life. But it then turned out that he was able to capture some great video footage of a new interesting friendship take place. A friendship between a small doggy and a massive white bear. The two of them got together and played together, enjoying each other's company. It's kind of hard to believe that this is possible at all. But it seems like the bear really needed some company because he was too lonely. In many countries, it's forbidden to feed living vertebrates to animals. In Japan, however, people can feed snakes different types of rodents. In a Tokyo zoo, a small hamster was brought to a snake by the name Ao-chan. And typically, snakes like eating hamsters a lot. But this time around, the hamster got really lucky. Everybody thought there was something wrong with the snake or that perhaps it was gonna eat the hamster later on. But that never happened. A few months have passed already and the two of them are still good friends. They're like celebrities now. Now they call that little hamster Gohan, which means food in Japanese. So that's it guys, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to press thumbs up if you liked it, and see you another time.